do I still want to do this shit? You know what I'm saying?
You know how hard it is.
Some people say, I want to go play baseball.
You think it's funny?
Right?
Yeah. And then I want to come back. Or some people say, I'm going to go 22 straight. And, you know what I'm saying? So it's a contract I feel like you got to have with yourself, too, in order for you to be a, you know, great ball player or to have a long career. That's the goal, to be in the league for 20 years. I tell you, that's the goal.
But that wasn't the goal.
I want to go on the court with the NBA. Where's Kevin Durant and his legacy? Is he being tarnished? Where are you at with him? You mentioned your top 7 guys. Where are you at with what's happened recently with Durant, with the Suns, and, of course, with Brooklyn?
Yeah, you know, Kevin's a great player. I think that his legacy is complicated. You know, I don't like any guys who join super teams. I'm biased against LeBron when it comes to comparing him to Michael, joining Dwayne and those guys. Because, you know, when we have this debate, and LeBron's amazing and spectacular, but I was like, Michael didn't join anybody. He just kept getting his ass kicked and got bigger and got stronger and finally knocked the wall down. And, you know, Kevin, who's a great player, you know, other than the fact when he joined the Warriors, he hasn't been successful anywhere else. And I don't hold that against him, but he wants to be considered in that list. He's not on that list. He's not on that list. He's a great, great player, but he's not on that list. He wants to be like, wow, he's not in a GOAT conversation, because you're not, plain and simple.
Damn.
You had great success when you joined the Warriors, but not only did you not have success, you actually flamed out in those other places. You got swept last year in the playoffs. You didn't even make the play-in this year.
Which started as a casual joke quickly turned into one of the biggest controversies of the season. Kevin Durant made a comment mocking Michael Jordan's decision to leave basketball for baseball, and LeBron James laughed right along with him. But that moment of laughter ignited something much bigger. NBA legends weren't having it, and they came back swinging hard. Leading the charge was none other than Charles Barkley. In a league where players constantly throw shade and take subtle shots at each other, Barkley decided enough was enough. He went on national television and didn't hold anything back. No sugarcoating, no tiptoeing around the issue. For the first time in years, someone actually pushed back against the LeBron and KD media machine. And what he said shook the entire sports world. The craziest part? Barkley wasn't the only one upset. What followed revealed a real divide in the NBA community, a warning to today's superstars who've been casually rewriting basketball history without consequence. To understand why this moment exploded, we need to look at what's been building under the surface, the growing tension between LeBron, KD, and the legacy of Michael Jordan's era. Because lately, that era isn't just being compared to today's game, it's being disrespected.
Years ago, shit, I was in the league. I thought you were about to say some shit about the 90s.
Only one of us was
down with the 90s.
That 90s bled into the early 2000s.
It all went down on their podcast, Mind the Game. Durant casually threw a jab at players who left to play baseball, clearly taking a shot at MJ's decision to step away from the NBA after his father's tragic death. It wasn't just careless, it was straight up disrespectful. And LeBron? He was right there laughing along like it was the funniest thing he'd ever heard. No acknowledgement of the pain behind that moment. No context, just ego-fueled banter like basketball history doesn't matter. But here's the thing, that moment wasn't random. It was calculated. This is part of a larger pattern where modern players try to make past legends look outdated or overrated. And LeBron's been quietly leading this campaign for years. Remember when he said, "We done with the 90s"? At first, it seemed like just another comment, but it was loaded with meaning. It was LeBron's way of dismissing the era that defined greatness, subtly trying to shift the narrative so the GOAT conversation favors him. Instead of elevating himself through his own accomplishments, he's been trying to diminish the past, one subtle dig at a time. Instead of giving Jordan credit for pure dominance, they downplay his competition. Instead of respecting how physically brutal that era was, they call it outdated. But the facts don't lie. Jordan never recruited superstars to join him. He never jumped ship to create a super team. He stayed with his team, fought through the challenges, and won 6 championships. That's why what happened next hit so differently, because finally, someone had the courage to say something. Enter Charles Barkley. The man has never been one to hold his tongue, but this time he came with everything. In a recent interview, Barkley didn't just call out LeBron and KD for their comments. He went after what they represent. He accused them of disrespecting the grind, taking shortcuts, and chasing easy paths to greatness. You want to be in the GOAT conversation? You're not. You joined super teams. Jordan didn't. That line landed like a haymaker. Barkley wasn't trying to tear them down for no reason. He was reminding them of something crucial. Respect in this league isn't handed out, it's earned. And if you're going to mock Jordan, you better come correct. But Barkley didn't stop there. He turned his attention to Durant's entire career. Outside of Golden State, what has KD really accomplished? He got swept in Brooklyn. He missed the play-in tournament with the Suns. Every time he's tried to be the #1 guy, it's fallen apart. Durant is one of the most gifted scorers in NBA history, no question. But leading a team like Jordan did, that's a completely different challenge. So here's the real question. Why are today's stars so insecure? What's really bothering them? Why did two of the most accomplished players of their generation, LeBron and KD, feel the need to take shots at Michael Jordan? The answer goes deeper than you think. LeBron has been living in Jordan's shadow since the day he entered the league. Every season that passes, those 6 championship rings Jordan earned become harder to ignore. The pressure keeps mounting, the frustration keeps growing, and instead of accepting reality, it's coming out as subtle jabs at an era he can't surpass. As for KD, he's dealing with his own internal battle. Despite his incredible talent, he's never received the same level of respect. His biggest championships came on a team he didn't build, a team that won a championship before he even got there. Deep down, he knows that fans and former players don't put him in the same conversation as Jordan, Kobe, or even Steph Curry. That reality stings, so when you can't catch the legends, you try to tear down their accomplishments instead. But here's the ironic part. Not everyone's falling for it. Barkley sees exactly what's happening, and he issued a warning. The backlash is coming. The irony is brutal. LeBron and KD are trying to chip away at the past, but they're creating the same toxic cycle that will eventually come back to hurt them. One day, they'll retire, and the same culture of disrespect they helped create will turn on them. The same trolls, the same younger fans who never watched them play will call them overrated. It's a vicious cycle they started, and they won't be able to escape it. That's why Barkley's words carried so much weight. He wasn't just defending Jordan. He was defending the integrity of basketball itself. His message was crystal clear. You don't get to rewrite NBA history just because it doesn't fit your narrative. You don't get to mock the 90s era when you owe your entire career to what those players built. And he's absolutely right, because whether LeBron and KD want to admit it or not, that same era they're mocking will one day be their legacy. The cycle of disrespect always comes full circle. And when it does, no podcast joke will save them from criticism. The next generation is already watching. They're paying attention to every move, hearing every word. And when it's their turn to create documentaries, launch podcasts, and share hot takes, LeBron will just be another name to them. KD will just be another player they didn't grow up watching. And if this cycle of disrespect continues, they'll be the ones getting mocked next. That's exactly what Barkley was warning about. You tear down Jordan now, and you better be prepared for the day someone does the same thing to you. But here's the twist. That disrespect might have already begun. Because whether LeBron wants to admit it or not, his legacy is starting to show cracks. Let's be honest, LeBron's recent behavior isn't about basketball anymore. Launching a podcast, carefully crafting narratives, constantly calling himself the GOAT, it's not about honoring the game, it's about controlling the conversation. He's trying to protect his image, not celebrate his love for basketball. From the constant, "I never had enough help" excuses to his obsession with staying relevant after 2 decades in the league, people are starting to notice a pattern. And Barkley sees it, fans see it, especially in moments like this, when LeBron laughs at one of the most painful moments in Jordan's life like it's just a punchline. Those moments chip away at everything he's built. You can't disrespect a legend and expect the basketball world to just look the other way. LeBron has always been masterful at controlling the media narrative, but this time, the mask is slipping. When truth, emotion, and legacy collide, no amount of media spin can save the story. And now, Barkley isn't standing alone. He's just the first one bold enough to say it out loud. In one single podcast episode, LeBron James and KD tried to rewrite history, mocking the very era that built the NBA into what it is today. They joked about one of the most emotional moments in basketball history like it meant nothing, assuming no one would challenge them. But Barkley did. And now the backlash is real. Because when you disrespect the 90s, you're not just mocking a decade, you're exposing your own insecurities. The GOAT debate was never just about stats, trophies, or records. It's about respect. And in that department, Michael Jordan still stands alone. If you respect the real history of this game and want more breakdowns like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We drop new content every week, cutting through the noise and getting to the truth. And drop a comment below. Did LeBron and KD cross the line, or are fans just overreacting? Either way, this debate is far from over.